Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a challenge to strike down a law here in Kentucky is tossed out of court, and one Kentucky university gets the green light to research the effects of medical marijuana.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. It's Friday. I'm Dakota Makris, and it's just before 5 o'clock. Thanks for joining us on your Friday morning. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast. Brandon, I'm looking at the satellite right now. Looks like some rain could move through. Is that rain or is that ground clutter?
Well, here's the thing. It's hard to tell sometimes. It looks like rain on the surface, but I haven't seen any reaching the ground just yet. So we'll keep an eye on that, even though it's kind of up there in the atmosphere this morning. But we'll keep a close eye on it. I think we stay mainly dry today, back and forth with the cloud cover there for a little bit, especially this morning. But we'll keep an eye on the rain. It's possible, though, throughout the day. Just kind of a sharp cutoff there. Temperatures warmer than they were yesterday. We're kind of warming up every day in the morning hours here. 40s and 50s out there. 48 Middlesboro is the only 40 actually out there. 56 in London, the other side of the spectrum. Actually 57 in Somerset. So kind of a mild morning out there as we start your day. Your breakfast forecast for your frosted weather wheats. I think we're still mainly dry for the most part. I got to check a couple other things here in just a second, but I do think we'll be close to the 50-degree mark there under mainly cloudy skies this morning. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Governor Andy Beshear is calling an issue in our justice system simply unacceptable. This comes after a probation officer reportedly never mentioned to a judge that a suspect under probation had gotten a brand new felony before he was accused of murder and shooting a police officer. The division's director called for a review of all cases. When that happened, officials realized there were a number of other instances where the new violation was never made known to the prosecutor or the judge. The criminal simply got a pass. It's unknown how many cases are involved, but the problem is statewide.
That's why we're doing a full audit, which will have full transparency to ensure that we know about each and every one of these incidences and we fix it.
Members of the state's Fraternal Order of Police say they are thankful this is finally getting exposed. They said the leadership is the reason why these problems continue. They said caseloads are audited every year, and this audit coming after accusations of wrongdoing just smells of desperation. The governor promises to bring transparency and accountability. A recent challenge to strike down Marcys Law in Kentucky is being tossed out of court. Voters approved the constitutional amendment in 2019 and 2020. It establishes a bill of rights for crime victims. Criminal defense lawyers challenged the measure, arguing that lawmakers failed to follow the right steps to get it on the ballot and worried the law gets in the way of a fair trial. The state director for Marcys Law Kentucky said she did not have a response to opponents, but did say she was thrilled to hear the decision.
By passing Marcys Law into our state constitution in November of 2020, we have ensured the inclusion, participation, and respect of crime victims and their families as they navigate the criminal justice system.
Under the law, which passed in November of 2020, crime victims' rights are included in the state constitution. They include being told about proceedings, the right to be present at them, protection from the accused, and being told about a release or escape. The University of Kentucky has the green light to open a cannabis research center. The governor signed a bill that paves the way for medical marijuana studies at UK. The General Assembly passed the measure on the last day of the legislative session. The Senate did not vote on a bill that would have legalized medical marijuana outright. The governor says he is exploring a way to authorize it through an executive order. Well, the governor also says a tornado-stricken county in western Kentucky will receive $8.5 million in additional support. It signals the start of a new round of assistance for a region working to recover from the devastating storms last December. Now, Governor Beshear said Thursday that Hopkins County is the first county to receive support from the newly created West Kentucky State Aid Funding for Emergencies Fund. The governor says state lawmakers appropriated more than $120 million to support the fund, adding he anticipates more awards from the fund will be announced in the coming weeks. Well, the East Kentucky Leadership Awards showcase took place at Pikeville's Appalachian Wireless Arena Thursday. The evening was about recognizing Eastern Kentuckians and organizations helping our region reach its full potential. Our Zach Hawk was there and talked with some of the people who are making that difference.
Senior advisor to Governor Andy Beshear, Rocky Adkins, delivered a keynote address recognizing the success of local leaders and private individuals here in Eastern Kentucky.
All eyes on Eastern Kentucky as far as I'm concerned, and I think this Eastern Kentucky Leadership Conference really helps focus on that and helps lift that up and helps continue to build that momentum that we need so bad.
The awards recognize people who, one way or another, are contributing to the region and its growth, some through culture and the arts.
It feels super. It feels awesome. It's a blessing for me to win this.
Others are pioneers in media and technology.
It's really just overwhelming sometimes to think about it. I've just worked hard just to try to bring technology to my friends and neighbors here in Eastern Kentucky, so this was just a surprise.
Even the work of a World War II veteran and a bishop.
I was on my way out of town, all packed up to go out of town over there, and my daughter and son had come to get me. And when they called and said that they had an award for me, we canceled that. We'll go tomorrow, if the Lord will. I thank the Lord for it.
While these awards recognize work that is already having an impact, leaders at the banquet say they hope the night can serve as inspiration so future generations can continue moving these mountains forward. In Pikeville, Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, I had the pleasure of meeting Bishop Willie Lamb. He's a great guy, great stories. The East Kentucky Leadership Awards are just one part of a larger gathering happening in Pikeville. Thursday afternoon was the start of the Leadership Conference, where key players from the mountains meet and share ideas on moving the region forward. The conference continues today. Well, thank you so much for getting your Friday morning started with us. When we come back, thousands of reptile species are at risk as their natural habitats continue to shrink. We'll have more on that in just a few minutes.
After a stretch of nice days, rain chances are back on the horizon and will stick around for the next several days. I'll track them out for you in about 3 minutes.